Hi, I'm Ray Collins. Tomorrow is the busiest day of the year on Lido Key. It's the annual Powerboat Grand Prix weekend. But as our Adam Cellini tells us now, some thought today's turnout was sort of low.
Yeah, the turnout on Saturday was a little less than people anticipated, but the event organizers think that may just be growing pains to a new format that started last year. Jason Russo remembers watching several Sarasota Grand Prix long before he was ever a part of it.
I came to from a small little child, came here with my father bringing me here, and so obviously it was a highlight of my weekend being able to race for a second year in a row here.
The Bayshore High alum now runs jet skis on the Aquacross circuit, one of the Grand Prix's new Saturday races.
The watercraft racing definitely is something that I think a lot of people can relate to, because this thing is not too far off what you can go buy from your local dealer and actually come out and compete. You're not necessarily made with the pro guys like us, but you can definitely go on the amateur level.
After decades of only powerboat races on Sundays, P1 added the jet skis and single-engine stockboat racing to the weekend last year.
What we're trying to do is really show a full weekend of marine motorsport action with all different types of racing and show really a progression of how you can evolve within the sport.
But fans like Angela Stapley are still partial to the big boats.
I want to see the monsters. The jet skis were cool. Like, I've never really seen them race, but yeah, I'm all about seeing the big boats, watching them just launch.
And others may be getting wise to the act. After a heavy Saturday turnout last year, vendors were surprised to see low attendance early.
Just hoping for the best, hoping that after this race perhaps we'll get some people coming in and getting some food and drinks, but it's been definitely like quieter.
As the power boats hit the water for a midday practice run, the crowd eventually rolled in. And even if you don't like the other races, Emma Shetler says people should still come for the tailgate.
Everybody gets to know everybody. We're in close quarters. Everybody's really respectful, and it's a great day out at the beach.
Now they're still expecting their big crowds on Sunday. That's when the big boats run their final race of the season, and P1 will name their national champion. On Lido Beach, I'm Adam Cellini, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
More than just boats causing attention today. Look at this. Police found a manatee floating near the race course. Police work with state officials to guide the manatee away from danger. Here's one more picture taken late this afternoon. Races, as Adam said, continue tomorrow. And hard to believe that this beach should be empty after 11 p.m., but the Sarasota Sea Turtle Protection Ordinance calls for it. All chairs off the beach as well. The first hatched turtle nests of the season are expected this weekend. Time now for our first forecast. And Steve, I felt some raindrops tonight in downtown Sarasota.
Yeah, Ray, we had a beautiful rainbow over Sarasota as well, which we'll have pictures of coming up in a few minutes. But those rain showers have now pretty much dissipated across the Sunshine State. Down in far southern Florida, over on the East Coast, there are a few left, but it is mainly dry, and it should stay that way for the rest of tonight. Currently at the airport, temperature 81 degrees, dew point 73, humidity 77%, by that east-southeast wind at 10 miles an hour. And if you're going out, high today was 92, last night's low 77. The record high 97 set back in 1998. Sunrise, sunset, which is important for the fireworks. Sunrise tomorrow morning at 6:39. Sunset 8:29, but it takes about 45 minutes to an hour for it to get dark enough for the fireworks to go off. So look for about 9:15, 9:30. Here are the forecast temperatures overnight in the early part of tomorrow, bottoming out in the mid to upper 70s, and we'll start warming up into the 80s to near 90 tomorrow. The complete forecast, including the one for the 4th of July, coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Steve. A man with 3 kids in his car is accused of selling heroin. Manatee County Sheriff deputies say this man, 26-year-old Jamal Matthews, was driving in the Oneiko area when they pulled him over. They say they witnessed a drug transaction. He was also charged with not having a driver's license, and he may also be charged with child neglect as well. Besides the heroin, they also say they found oxycodone, marijuana, and a loaded handgun. A mosquito-borne virus hitting close to home. State health officials report a case of the Zika virus now in Charlotte County. Now that brings the number in the state to nearly 250. Charlotte County is now taking steps to prevent the virus from spreading to the insect population. Easier said than done. Last week, Governor Scott signed an executive order to add $26 million to the fight against Zika in Florida. A $1 billion measure failed earlier this week in the U.S. Senate. Well, a big night at the Disabled American Veterans Center in Nokomis. Tonight's event was a World War II themed dinner and dance complete with the music and food popular back in the 1940s. There were big band sounds and toe-tapping tunes from this vintage American era. A great way to honor the veterans who fought and lost their lives on this Independence Day weekend.
Every day it's important to remember them, and we try to, actually.
All proceeds from the event will assist local veterans. You might be surprised what's legal and what's not legal when it comes to fireworks in Florida. One roadside business near Stickney Point and 41 say sales are booming, but they say safety is still their top priority.
It's picked up today compared to the rest of the week already. Today is doing very well, and tomorrow it'll be even more so. Stay safe and make sure that you're buying all the legal stuff.
And keep in mind, not all fireworks sold in roadside stands are legal. The only legal fireworks in Florida for private use fall into the category known as sparklers, which include sparklers, fountains, snakes, and glowworms. Meantime, baseball fans in Bradenton got a sneak peek at public fireworks night. There they are. The minor league Marauders marked Independence Day 2 days early at McKechnie Field. The team also gave out free T-shirts while fans enjoyed live music as well.
Yeah, it's our largest display of the season, patriotic music. Just a great way for the city of Bradenton to come out and enjoy the great holiday.
Well, as for the game, not so good. The home team lost to the Charlotte Stone Crabs, final score 3-2. And that is, by the way, the same score as the Rays game today. We'll tell you who won later in sports. But up next, how did you spend your Saturday morning? Hillary Clinton spent hers at the FBI over 3 hours. We'll tell you why after this.
Stand out in your new wild Lexus. Lease a new 2016 Lexus ES 350 for only $329 or enjoy 0.9% APR, just $329, exclusively at Wild Lexus of Sarasota on Clark Road.
At ABC7, our entire weathercast is dedicated to the Suncoast, and now we bring it to you like never before with the all-new official Suncoast forecast.
Beach and boating forecast. The winds will be out of the northwest at 10 knots.
Now, with the most advanced graphics and technology, we bring you weather where you live, pinpointing right down to your neighborhood.
Zooming into the Sarasota Bayfront,
the all-new official Suncoast forecast, only on ABC7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
We're losing exotic animals on a daily basis, and the ones that we have in captivity are really the ambassadors for their wild counterparts. I'm Clayton Rozier from the Big Cat Habitat and Gulf Coast Sanctuary, housing over 150 exotic animals that needed a great home. And if you love animals, please help them. Do it locally. Support your local no-kill shelters, your local wild animal sanctuaries. Make a difference where you can.
Hurricane season is here. Are you prepared? ABC7 has the information you need. Access our special Surviving a Hurricane now. Learn how to prepare a readiness plan and survival kit. Know your evacuation route. Be prepared, Suncoast, when severe weather threatens. Access our special on our ABC7 app and all our live streaming platforms.
Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, and
discover the biggest savings of the year on some of America's favorite vehicles during the Drive and Discover event going on now at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Get America's best value, a new Grand Caravan for just $18,999 or a new Dodge Journey for just $16,999. Stop by today to shop the area's biggest selection of Ram trucks and save up to $8,000 on your new Ram. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
You know what scares me? No electricity. Yeah, when this magical box suddenly stops working, I call the pros at Mr. Sparky and they send a superhero to save the day. How's it going, Pablo?
It's going great, Mike.
Pablo possesses amazing skill. He can perform incredible feats at blinding speed.
Superhero. Couldn't have done it without you.
Modest, too.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Just to be clear, I don't live here.
Stand out in your new wild Lexus. Lease the bold new 2016 Lexus RX 350 for only $419 or enjoy 1.9% APR, just $419. Exclusively at Wild Lexus of Sarasota on Clark Road.
Holocaust survivor and Nobel laureate Elie Wiesel has passed away today. Wiesel won the Nobel Peace Prize 30 years ago. His first book, called Night, recounts his family's experience in the Nazi concentration camps. He dedicated his life to peace, human rights, and decency. Elie Wiesel was 87 years old. Hillary Clinton spent her morning talking to the FBI. Agents wanted to ask questions about her private email server during her years as Secretary of State. Amid all the comings and goings of SUVs and Secret Service agents, Hillary Clinton reportedly slipped out of her Washington, D.C. residence this morning, unrecognized, and drove to FBI headquarters. Her campaign said Clinton gave a voluntary interview this morning about her email arrangements while she was secretary. The presumptive Democratic presidential nominee spent 3.5 hours telling the FBI how she used her private email server during her time at the State Department. In the next few weeks, the FBI is expected to decide whether to file charges against Clinton. Attorney General Loretta Lynch has indicated she will accept whatever the FBI decides. Meantime, her private meeting with Bill Clinton on the tarmac of the Phoenix airport set off a firestorm.
Certainly my meeting with him raises questions and concerns, but it really was a social meeting.
Both Bill Clinton and the Attorney General say they never discussed the case, chatting instead about their grandchildren. But Donald Trump doesn't buy it.
I love that one. I love that one. I love that one. And look at the beautiful, I love these kids. After that, what are you going to say, right? I love them. Oh, just a coincidence, you know. He just happened to be at the airport at this time.
Other news now, that controversial bill in North Carolina involving transgender bathroom access has undergone a slight revision. State lawmakers didn't touch the part of the law dealing with restrooms. Instead, they restored the right to sue for wrongful termination. The legislation requires transgender people to use the bathroom according to their gender on their birth certificate. But even with the modifications, it's not enough for those who it affects.
Now, the problem with this is that this says that you have to undergo sexual reassignment surgery. That is, we cannot require you to do something, but that's not something that people have to do.
The governor is hoping to get a modified version of the bill to pass in North Carolina. One of the victims of the Bangladesh attack was actually from Florida. Binta Kabir just finished her freshman year at Emory University. She was born in Bangladesh but attended school in Miami. Kabir is one of the 20 hostages found stabbed to death inside a cafe in Bangladesh after an hours-long standoff. One of Kabir's former teachers is heartbroken.
It is so hard to believe that she was there and she was suffering for 10 or 11 hours. I don't even want to think about it. I rather to remember her with that smile that she had, and I just don't understand why the world has to be that way. Why do innocents have to pay for the hatred of others?
Kabir was visiting family and friends at the time of the attack. Back in Florida, in the Panhandle, a bus full of migrant workers collided with a tractor-trailer, killing 4 and injuring 24 others. Police say the driver of the bus went through a flashing red light when he struck the semi. Both vehicles caught fire. The bus was carrying as many as 35 Haitian workers from Georgia. The sheriff says it would have been much worse if not for some heroes on his force.
I've got to give praise to our deputies. They went on this bus and started pulling people off before the bus became fully involved. We would have had more if it hadn't been for the efforts of our deputies.
Among those killed, a child and the driver of the semi that was struck. The bus driver's condition is listed as critical. A toxic algae bloom that began in Lake Okeechobee has left 4 counties in a state of emergency, including Lee County in southwest Florida. Also affected Palm Beach, Martin, and St. Lucie counties. The algae spread after the Army Corps of Engineers released water from the lake to prevent flooding. Senator Marco Rubio took a tour to inspect the bloom.
For this community, you've been hearing this now over and over again. All these officials come down, they say this, and then next year it happens again. I get it, I really, really do. We're going to do everything we can to continue to create a sense of urgency about the need to do stuff now, but also for the future.
And of course, the timing couldn't be worse as the stench is wiping out some holiday weekend tourism in parts of the East Coast. Hopefully some lessons learned in this one, Steve.
maybe we shouldn't release water from Lake Okeechobee when there's a lot of algae in it.
Yeah, start right there. That's right.
Well, lessons maybe have learned. We had a beautiful rainbow right at sunset, at least here in Sarasota, and our producer Erica rushed out and took this picture of it. A beautiful view. I actually saw it from my backyard when I was doing a barbecue between shows. I went home to have a quick dinner, and we saw it too, as did Damon Powers. Look at this beautiful shot of it over Sarasota Bay. And there's another shot Damon got of the bay sunset. Now, this is just one of the reasons we love living here on the Sun Coast, having sunsets like that. Well, temperatures across Florida at this hour still quite warm, 80 degrees for the most part within our viewing area. Orlando, it's had some thunder showers in the area. It's cooled off to 76, up in the Panhandle, low 80s. At Longboat Key, 83, Siesta, 82, Boca Grande, 86. That's the coastal temperatures, but inland cooling off to the mid to upper 70s at Sebring and Lake Placid. Now, as we take a look at the tropical weather outlook, we do have some weather news to talk about, but not in the Atlantic or Gulf of Mexico or Caribbean. It remains very quiet and should stay that way. We don't have any threat of tropical storm development for the next week or maybe even more. That's probably the case, but we had our season's first tropical storm form in the eastern Pacific. The hurricane season there started May 15th, so it took a month and a half for Tropical Storm Agatha to form. It's not really going to be a factor. It's going to move out to sea, and there's another depression just to the south that may be our B-name storm coming up in the next day or so. But the big weather news has been from the Dateline to the coast of Asia, where they haven't had a single typhoon or tropical storm since December 17th. That's 199 days. It broke a record today. The previous record was 198, set back in 1973 when I was doing weather here the first time. This time last year, we had this many named storms, 9, and 3 of them were Category 5. We may eke out one more day to the 200th record if this storm doesn't form into the season's first typhoon south of Guam tomorrow. Well, enough for the tropics. Across the United States, the jet stream has now retreated way up north, giving a lot of warmth chance to set in down in the southern states. And temperatures, I think, in the next few days are going to approach 100 or even surpass it right across the deep south in Atlanta. Some of the forecast models are proving that to be true. And also in the northeast, because they had a cold front yesterday, very comfortable to the north of the front in the low to mid 70s. We take a look at the storms across Florida earlier today. The last 4 hours, they've all thinned out. As that storm track remains well to the north, we're just under the influence of a really weak ridge of high pressure that's sitting right just about on top of us. So we don't have a lot of steering currents. That means the Gulf Coast sea breeze and the Atlantic sea breeze are the driving forces to create these thunder showers. And it's kind of chaotic and hard to pinpoint exactly where they're going to happen, but we'll do the best we can with our RPM computer forecast model that's been wobbling back and forth on some of the details the last few hours. You can see them right on through tomorrow and into Monday in the interior, and kind of a warm southerly flow coming in throughout most of Florida. But what about the 4th of July? If you're worried about the fireworks or getting outside for that, here's the early forecast for the 4th. By 2 p.m., 91 degrees and mostly sunny skies. By 6 p.m., chance of thunder showers, only about a 30% chance, temperature 90. And when the fireworks go off, look for it to be 85 degrees, about 9 to 9:30. A closer look at that RPM shows we'll have southerly winds overnight, and it looks like it's going to remain dry right on through tomorrow morning as they start getting ready for the races at 9 o'clock. Partly cloudy skies and staying that way, but there's just a chance of a passing shower in the interior. Doesn't look like it's any big deal, or not even a chance of stuff forming in the afternoon. Great chance for getting out on the water for the boat races. Southwest winds 10 knots. Seas 2 feet or less out there off Lido. A light chop on bay and inland waters. Gulf temperature 90 to 91 degrees. Air temperature 87. Here's my forecast for tonight. It looks like it'll be a partly cloudy skies and warm, 77 for the low temperature with light winds. And the 7-day outlook takes us right on into next weekend with a 30 to 40% chance of showers and thunder showers, which is just what you would expect for this time of year. Ray?
Right. Thank you, Steve. It hasn't happened in 60 years. Details next in sports.
Hurricane season is here, and so is the official Suncoast Hurricane Guide from ABC 7. This essential resource arms you with vital information you need to protect your family and property when severe weather threatens the Suncoast, including how to create your readiness plan and survival kit, shelter locations, what to do with pets, and important phone numbers. Visit mysuncoast.com and download the official Suncoast Hurricane Guide from ABC 7. Brought to you by the Florida Lottery. Have you ever wondered what it's like to save a life? Find out by donating platelets at Suncoast Blood Bank.
I'm Haley Wilgus, ABC7. Platelets aid in the clotting process and are vital in the treatment of cancer and surgical patients, trauma victims, and critically ill newborns. It's tough to keep enough on the shelves because they only last 5 days. To donate, call this number or visit scbb.org and you can help save a life.
ABC7 congratulates Suncoast Blood Bank on 65 years of serving our community.
Monday at 4 on Suncoast View. We've got everything you need for your 4th of July festivities. I'm Stephanie Roberts. On a special Suncoast View, we brought in the Sarasota County Fire Department to help us with our fireworks and our grill. Our beauty expert keeps us cool and comfortable with summer skin solutions, plus her must-haves to beat the holiday heat. We talked to MC Hammer about his new rap venture, plus a field trip to Popcraft Popsicles. Monday at 4 on Suncoast View.
On your TV, on your computer, on your camera, on your smartphone, on your Apple Watch. And now you can get ABC7, your Suncoast News on Roku. Just go to mysuncoast.com and click on the mobile tab for a list of fast and free downloads that deliver ABC7, your Suncoast News on the go. At ABC7, it's all about being here for you. ABC7 News at 7 with award-winning investigative journalist Alan Cohn. In-depth reporting and debate on important issues and stories in our community with a featured topic of the day and a live roundtable discussion with community leaders and newsmakers. Plus a quick recap of the day's top stories and weather. ABC7 News at 7 weeknights. Now more than ever, we're here for you, Suncoast.
I'm Haley Wilgus. Florida's Trump campaign on standby. Why Republicans are waiting until after the convention to rally support in the state.
Monday on ABC7 News at 7. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, it's all about getting more for your money. More years, more miles, more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. Stop by to see our new state-of-the-art showroom today, and you can lease the most award-winning small SUV on the planet, a new 2016 Subaru Forester, for just $229 a month, complimentary maintenance included, at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Now, sports.
Next week's All-Star break can't come soon enough for the slumping Rays. They hosted the Tigers today at the Trop. The good news is the game was closer than the last couple, but that's still not enough. The Tigers took the lead the second inning and held on to the end. Final score, Tigers 3, Rays 2. The Tigers have won all 3 games of the series so far. The Rays have one more chance to win one of the games of the series tomorrow, a matinee game at the Trop. On the mound for the Rays tomorrow is Chris Archer, who right now is the leading loser in the majors, 4 wins, 11 losses. Dubious distinction there. The All-Star break is 9 days away. One of the biggest upsets in Wimbledon history and an American is on the winning side of things. Sam Querrey knocked out defending champ Novak Djokovic in 4 sets. The match began yesterday but was postponed several times due to rain. This was Djokovic's earliest Grand Slam loss since the French back in 2009. Querrey is a 28-year-old from California, ranked 41st in the world. That was the cheer for 2 women who made baseball history last night in California. Stacey Piagno and Kelsey Whitmore played baseball for the Sonoma Stompers minor league team. The game was the first one since the 1950s where 2 women played on the same team in men's professional baseball. Piagno says she expects more girls to follow in their footsteps.
Yes, me and Kelsey are paving a way for young girls, which is amazing and it's great. But at the same time, we're doing this because this is a game that we love.
Good reason. The Stompers lost the game, but they'll both be back in the starting lineup for the next game. A love story like you've never seen before. That story's next.
Thanks to my volunteer, I am a better reader.
Thanks to my volunteer, math seems simple now.
Thanks to my volunteer, I discovered new career goals.
I'm a volunteer for Sarasota County Schools, so I know I can make a difference. And you can too. Give an hour change a life.
Hurricane season is here, and Suncoast weather can go from this to this in seconds. So when severe weather threatens, count on the official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC7.
We're armed with the most advanced weather technology so that we can bring you storm warnings faster and with more detail than ever before.
Plus, we focus on the Suncoast and track storms right down to your neighborhood.
On air, online, and on your mobile device. Turn to the official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC7. We're here for you. Monday on ABC7 News at 7.
We're just not actively making phone calls on the presidential campaign yet, but I expect that to happen fairly soon.
Florida's Trump campaign on standby. Find out why local reps are waiting until after the convention to reach out to voters on the Suncoast. I'm Haley Wilgus. We'll have that story plus our roundtable discussion.
Monday on ABC7 News at 7. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you. ABC7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you weeknights at 5. This Sarasota Powerboat Grand Prix Minute is brought to you by Florida Leather Gallery.
Your support during the Grand Prix Festival makes a difference. Community Haven for Adults and Children with Disabilities is one of 5 area nonprofit agencies receiving support from Suncoast Charities for Children and the Suncoast Foundation. Thanks to a recent grant, a new roof was installed on their adult training facility. Special project funding like this ensures program and service money goes directly to clients who need it the most.
Florida Leather Gallery is celebrating the 4th of July with spectacular savings. Take 33% off hundreds of styles. Experience freedom of choice with a wide and wonderful assortment of leathers. Freedom from worry with our impressive collection of protected leathers. And freedom from guilt as we proudly offer the lowest price guaranteed. Plus, free delivery. It's all happening right now. Come celebrate with our Lexperts at our 6 Florida Leather Galleries.
They say good things come to those that wait. Well, you've waited long enough. You deserve to feel fabulous in your fashionable new Fiat 500X from Alfa Romeo Fiat in Sarasota. Boldly innovative, seductively stylish. Fiat gives you everything you'd expect from a capable utility vehicle, like a spacious interior and advanced safety systems, designed and built like a sexy little Sportster. Don't wait any longer. You deserve to feel fabulous. Get a new Fiat at Alfa Romeo Fiat of Sarasota.
A love story between a dog and a fish. You've got to see this to believe it. The pet owner, Carrie Brady, introduces us to her French bulldog, Daisy, and her koi fish named Frank, who is the love of Daisy's life. The two lovebirds have received lots of attention over social media. Brady says that the love story has blown up all over Instagram and Facebook. I'm a little disturbed by this whole thing right now.
That is a very disturbing picture, you're right.
But I hope things work out and they have years of fun together.
I wouldn't leave that dog alone with that fish. That's right. That's just what I'm thinking.
You might like it for all the wrong reasons.
It's true.
Yes.
Let's now take another quick look at our forecast for the 4th of July. It looks pretty nice during the day. Low 90s for the high with a slight chance of afternoon evening thunder showers. But when the fireworks go off, temperature 85 degrees. It should be dry and a beautiful evening.
Perfect. All right.
Yeah.
See you at the races tomorrow. Have a good night, folks. We'll see you tomorrow night.